Good morning. I'm Elisa Z. You're listening to the Sunday edition. In the studio with me is a woman I've gotten to know over the last couple of years because, well, number one, she's wonderful. Not just because she surprised me and paid for my lunch one day at a restaurant, and I didn't even know it was her, uh, but Amy Nybert is with the Great Lakes Anchor Academy, which is, it's just this incredible effort of love, Amy, that I've watched you as your child has grown in the 3-year journey so far. And I know there's still a ways to go, but let's tell people what this is all about.
I appreciate that, Elisa. We are going to be a public school academy located in Clinton Township inside the Mount Clemens School District. And yes, it's been a little bit of a journey, but we are finally getting ready to open September 2015.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I know you've had to jump through so many hoops, governmental and red tape, and where you were going to be located before you could even officially and legally say it out loud,
Right.
and all of those things. And I know now here in the state, they're looking at making things more stringent for the charter schools here in the state, which you welcome because transparency is great.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if has that created more red tape for you because of some of the proposed changes, or have things not really gone into effect yet?
Not necessarily. Great Lakes Anchor Academy is authorized by Ferris State University, and we had that authorization before recent reporting and
Okay.
things came about. But I feel very fortunate to be associated with Ferris, and the stringent aspect that you're talking about is great because it just keeps everybody on their toes, keeps everybody, like you said, transparent. There's also often a myth out there that public school academies don't have to comply with the same regulations that public school academies do, and that's not correct. We have a high level of reporting that needs to be done, equal to a public school academy. So, I just feel very fortunate, like I said, to be associated with Ferris. They do a great job of keeping us on track.
Good.
Yeah.
And that really is critical, not for the transparency aspect, but to make sure that if there's any even accidental wavering academically or crossing the T's and dotting the I's, you've got a good team in place, don't you?
Absolutely. Yep. They are very expert professional in their field, and I'm proud to be a bulldog.
Does it make you feel a little less alone now that you have Ferris on board with you?
Oh, for sure. They are a great support.
Good.
We have a great team of people working there. We have a field rep that comes and supports us at location monthly.
good.
So,
Good.
yes, it's a great working relationship, and I'm just excited about it.
Where exactly is the school?
It will be in Clinton Township,
Okay.
about Harper and Avery
Okay.
roads. So we're closing on the buildings soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What grades are you going to have there?
We are authorized for grades 5 through 12.
Okay.
We will be enrolling grades 5 through 10 to start off with, and then eventually we'll be 5 to 12. A couple years down the road, we'd like to make it a K-12 program.
That'll be amazing.
Yes, I think so.
I know you and I have talked in the past, but for those who may not remember or may not know, what's different about Great Lakes Anchor Academy from other schools?
Well, we have a lot of things different. First of all, we are partnered with the U.S. Naval Sea Cadets, and we're the only school like it in Michigan. We are hoping to offer a couple of different programs. One is going to be dive instruction. That'll probably be a little ways out yet. We're going to offer a program called Building to Teach. I have a great friend out there who introduced himself to me. What that program is teaching mathematics through boat building. So we want to bring him on board.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Learning mathematics through boat building.
Yes. And he's done this program in another location. So we're working out the semantics of it right now, but it's fractions, measuring, all these kinds of things where we're putting practical application. We're applying the math instead of just looking at a book, hearing it from a teacher, learning it on the computer. We're actually working with it.
Are kids really going to build a boat?
They really will build a boat.
How big?
And I'm hoping they build several boats over the course of a few years, and we can have events with our boats, maybe on Lake St. Clair or something like that.
So real life-size boats, not like scale
Real
models
boats.
in the classroom.
Yes. It's great.
That really is. I know, I mean, I've got 4 kids and at various ages, but 2 of them are still in school. And one of them comes home and she goes, okay, I just don't know why I need to know this.
Yes, my teenage daughter the same.
Yes. But it's tough for kids. Math,
Right.
we know, looking back, we know math was important and it's a good educational tool, not just for knowing how to balance your checkbook or basic day-to-day math, figuring out your sales tax and
Right.
paying your bills, but learning those concepts.
Exactly.
Not all of us are visual learners, and not all
Right.
of us are learners that absorb things by doing calculations, whether on paper or with a calculator.
Right.
So better math through boat building.
That's correct.
This is my favorite new thing, Amy.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're going to be considered a STEM plus M school. So that's going to be the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics plus maritime applications.
STEM plus M.
Yes.
I love that. Right now, where are you in the process? I know you're looking for board members right now,
We
for
are.
example, right?
We're recruiting a couple board members. We have a full functioning board right now. And so we have a couple people whose terms will be expiring. And so we are looking for a couple of additional board members.
Okay.
But we are ready to go. We're beginning enrollment beginning of February.
Great.
We will be putting out a major marketing campaign at that time. And we are ready to just hit the ground running with this, finally.
When people hear that Great Lakes Anchor Academy is, what did you say, a Sea Cadet? You tell me the terminology, but that's got to sound a little scary to some people.
And it does. And
Let's dispel the fears.
Yes. So when you see the pictures of a Sea Cadet, you automatically will think military. We are not military. We're not gearing students to become enlisted. Enlistment is not an obligation. But, we have to face the fact that a couple things. We've got kids out there that don't really realize that the military is a viable career option.
Mm-hmm.
So this is exposure for that. And, they can decide if this is something I would like to look at further or something I don't want to do.
Okay.
So we're basically just using that military theme just for the discipline, the structure, and these kinds of things. We're going to be doing formation every day. We'll be raising the flag together as a unit. And any fundraising we do through the school, we will be doing with companies or organizations like Wounded Warrior Project, Michigan Veterans Foundation, AMVETS, things like this, because really we're trying to get our students to understand that we have to give back to the community.
Right.
So we're not just here for the education, but we're here to learn how to be human beings and how to get along with our fellow humans.
You talk about the discipline and the structure. You and I have talked in the past about how that is something that is missing in a lot of schools. And even if it's not missing in some children's schools, it's missing in their lives.
Correct.
For me, I do tend to swerve across the yellow line every now and again in my personal life and professionally. However, when I sit down and I implement structure, I function a whole lot better as a human being.
Right.
And I think a lot of kids are kind of floating through things. There's merit to exhaling and floating and all of that.
Right.
But if they don't learn how to function within structure, then they're not going to learn self-discipline either.
Correct.
So that's an incredible thing that the school is going to offer, isn't it?
Yes, and that's a huge thing for me. As I've been an educator over the past 15 or some odd years, I've noticed that the respect levels are coming down with students, and the lack of organization and things like that. So that's really what I'm trying to help students with, understanding that when you get out of here, there's a job, and you're going to be expected to be on time to work.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be expected to listen to your boss. You're going to be expected to get along with your coworkers. So we need to instill those things right now. So we're trying just to make productive citizens that interact well with their community.
And you're right on a lot of levels in a lot of places. And yes, there are exceptions to every rule, but that lapse in respect level.
Yes.
And it's more so and less so depending upon where you are and in what school, not just what district, but in what school. I saw a documentary a couple of years ago about a district in Maryland where they were bringing in teachers from the Philippines, highly educated women who were looking for jobs in the United States, and they were brought into an urban school district to teach.
Mm-hmm.
And these were fine teachers and wonderful women, and many left because they said they had never seen such a disregard for authority, for a teacher, such disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
They had never seen that before. Sadly, we're seeing it in more places than we ever should.
Right, and I agree with that, and that's what we hoping to nip it in the bud.
That's what needs to happen.
Right.
And again, like you said, this isn't a military academy.
No.
We need to stress that again.
Yes.
Great Lakes Anchor Academy is not a military school.
That is correct.
It's not a boarding school. It's not where the bad kids go, if I
Right,
can use the
and
phrase
that's
that the kids
exactly
would
right.
use.
Yes.
Who is it for then?
It is for anyone that wants to better themselves. That's it, plain and simple of it. Anyone who wants their children to learn that discipline, that self-discipline, the interaction with people, this is going to be the place for them. And one thing I do want to point out, which is kind of really neat, if a student decides that they do want to enlist, they do want to make military their career, the service in our program will count. So they could, upon graduation, enter the Navy, the U.S. Coast Guard, for an extended pay rate. So rather than a recruit, they could go in up to an E3 pay rate.
Really?
So yes, and
That's
so
incredible. That's a major bonus. That
it's a
really,
major
really
bonus.
is.
That's about a year and a half, I believe, increase in pay right out of the gate.
That really is. That's reason enough, I would say, to enroll if you're considering even in the slightest way.
Right.
How many kids will you be able to accept in your first term this coming September?
Well, we can accept, our building holds 225.
Okay.
However, we do have resources to extend that if necessary.
Okay.
So we would love to have anybody that, wants to go to school and not feel like they're in a bullying environment.
Right.
That wants to, just like I say, increase their respect level, their discipline. It's going to be a very user-friendly environment. Our staff members will be in uniforms, students will be in uniforms.
Good.
And, just a mutual respect going on with everybody.
Do you have most of your staff lined up already?
We have some.
Okay.
We have some, but we will be hiring starting in about April, I imagine. And until
that's
then,
things we do need to let folks know that
yes,
as well.
Definitely. I'm working on trying to get into a couple of teacher fairs right now.
Good.
But yes, if there are, and specifically if there are any teachers out there with military background,
Okay.
would love to talk to them.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. As far as board members are concerned, is there anything we can do to help you reach out? Are you looking for a specific type of person? Do they have to have a military background to sit on your board, or you just want good, solid community members?
Absolutely not. No military background required. But we are just looking for people that care about kids and that want to provide this excellent opportunity. And I always get the comment that, I'm too busy. Well, being a board member is about an hour a month with some professional development time thrown in there periodically from Ferris. They do a great job with the board as well. So they offer professional development credits for the board members. But responsibility of board members are typically just fiduciary oversight and, major decisions for the school because we are dealing with public funds.
Right.
So we are accountable to the public. So,
is there a website? I know you have a Facebook page. Do you have a website yet, or are we?
Absolutely.
Or is the Facebook page the place to go?
I'm very proud of my website, actually. My good friends at Castle Bond made this website for me. It's www.glanchor.org. And our Facebook page, you can look up Great Lakes Anchor Academy. And, contact us either way. That
Okay.
would be great. We can add you to a newsletter. Newsletters will be starting to go out at the beginning of February.
Exciting.
So anybody that's interested, I can send information, brochures, anything.
It really, I mean, I've watched you on this journey since maybe not the very beginning, but pretty darn close, right?
Right.
And I'm so
And I
proud
thank
of
you very
you.
much.
I'm so proud of you. I have to say,
Well, thank
it's
you.
exciting. And when you popped into my inbox the other day and you said, Bruce Weisberg mentioned, hi, Bruce, if you're listening,
Hi, Bruce.
maybe we should yak again. And I thought, first of all, I'm always happy when you pop in to say hello.
Well, thanks.
But I love what you've been doing and I love watching the progress. And I'm so thrilled that here we go. So
Yeah, here we go.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Before we close, anything you want to add, the website again or anything?
I'll just add the website again. It's www.glanchor.org. And you can contact us also by telephone at 586-307-4562.
Amy Nybert with Great Lakes Anchor Academy. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
being
much,
here.
Elise. I appreciate it.
Once again, I'm Elisa Z. You're listening to the Sunday edition.